We are back again. This is the second part of the show. My name is the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe from TBR Solution Sports Forum. It's myself and Last Born Tshepang Kgole. I'm sure you cannot wait to go and see Amapagania. I know that you guys were also going to get the news around Kaizer Chiefs and Sekhukhune at Ellis Park today, but unfortunately the host asked Sekhukhune. So yeah, so we still have to see in future how do we get access there. But yeah, but next time we'll be able. Yeah, we know that Vina and Jabulani, they always give us that access to attend their games so that we can have the first-hand information in terms of the games. Last one, will you kindly greet the viewers? Let's get started.
Yes, good morning. Afternoon to the viewers out there. Part two of the show. Yeah, I hope everyone is excited and in what's going to happen, and hope everyone enjoys the show. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I also want to indicate that we are not only available on YouTube, we're also available on Facebook. If you can go to our Facebook page, the group is called TBR Solution Sports Forum. You'll see that we give the latest updates, and then yeah. So Tshepang, we saw that things were a little bit somehow, not necessarily somehow. It's part of administration. We know that Kaizer Chiefs at some point was hauled to the DC, and then they also went to they went to court, or they went for arbitration, of which they won that case. The arbitration decision was in their favor, but the PSL has taken the matter to court to review the decision of the arbitrator. So good for PSL. The PSL won the case because the court decided to set aside the decision. All right. Now, Mr. Zola Majavu is always giving us updates on what is happening. And then as far as PSL DC in terms of DSTV Premiership. We know that Pirates at some point, they were found guilty in their case that involved Mr. Tim Sugazi and the manhandling of him by the security personnel of Orlando Pirates. So Pirates were found guilty, but Pirates elected to take the matter to arbitration, suffer arbitration. So now we are still waiting to hear the outcome of the arbitration. And Mr. Machav did indicate that as soon as that outcome is available, he will therefore communicate that outcome. And then, yeah, as I also started with Kaizer Chiefs, we also heard that Kaizer Chiefs, there was a court case yesterday of Kaizer Chiefs pertaining to, I'll give you the outcome, pertaining to their game with Sekhukhune, because Kaizer Chiefs were somehow charged because they fielded ineligible players. So as a result, the matter was taken to this DC. And then we also know that again on the 17th of May, Kaizer Chiefs is going to appear now in front of the DC at 4 o'clock. And then remember that Kaizer Chiefs, they won their arbitration, but the PSL, this is the one that I started with, decided to take the matter to High Court, and then the High Court decided to set aside the decision of the arbitration. And then I know I requested the full judgment. I asked the advocate Mahantula, whom sometimes I interview to give us an understanding and education around these cases. We'll see whether you'll be able to get the full judgment so that we can understand what were the reasons for the court to set aside that arbitration. What were the compelling reasons so that people need to understand going forward what's happening. So because the matter has been set aside, so Advocate Zola Machava, I'm not sure whether he's an advocate or he's an attorney, I'm not certain about that, enroll the matter to the PSL DC. As I said, that Kaizer Chiefs will be appearing to the DC on the 17th of May. And then, we also know that yesterday, on the 13th, according to the updates from Mr. Zola Machava, the chairman of Cape Town City, Mr. John Cometis, will also appear in front of the DC on the 19th of May to answer the charges bringing the league into disrepute following his action on social media. So remember that the matter did sit at some point previously, but Mr. Committees requested a postponement, which the PSL did not oppose. As a result, the hearing will take place on the 19th of May, 2022, and all the details of that outcome will be communicated as he normally does, Mr. Zola Machava. But now, as I also indicated that yesterday, there was a case that sat in front of the DC that involved Kaizer Chiefs on the issue of Skukunian. Kaizer Chiefs pleaded guilty in that case for fielding ineligible players, and Kaizer Chiefs were fined 200,000, all right? But half of it, or 50% of it, has been suspended for 12 months. And then provided that they're not found committing the same mistake within the period of 12 months, so they won't pay that 100,000, but the other 100,000 they'll have to pay to the league. And then also Kaizer Chiefs was ordered to pay the cost of the 2 sittings, because there were 2 sittings, so they had to pay for those. And the players concerned, they were charged about, they were fined 10,000 rand each, and then but the money was suspended for 12 months. And then according to Mr. Zola Machava, some of the factors that made them to suspend the debt for 12 months, they have taken into consideration that the young boys that are still very young, and then, so they are not earning as such money, so that is why it's suspended. Now, Tshepang, those are the DC matters. Now, I want to hear your perspective. What do you think? Let's start there. And in fact, let's start with Zola Machava. What do you think about the work of Zola Machava so far?
Yes, with the information that he keeps giving us, I could say that he knows his work, and the groundwork that he does, the detailed information that he keeps sharing and giving us in regarding to these cases, gives us a better understanding on what's going on, and he gives us clear detail in what actually is happening, and the steps and the circumstances of all that is happening between with all of these DSTV Premiership cases. So I actually acknowledge his work, and I highly recommend his work, and he's doing a good job. And then secondly, with all that's happening with the Kaizer Chiefs matter as well, too little too late. Maybe the league games are done, but with a fine, maybe I guess that they can get away with the fine because they've already played the games that they're supposed to play. And yeah, it's just unfortunate that we thought that the case was done, but it has come up to this. And yeah, but as well as also joint committees as well. But I understand his outbreak. Maybe felt like Kaizer Chiefs were being the favorites, and maybe they're getting special treatment in regarding this whole matter. But he was just expressing his emotions, his opinions, protecting his club as well. And but I guess sometimes what we saw on the social media as well can affect us also. Maybe the way he went about doing things, maybe was the wrong manner. And unfortunately there's consequences to that as well. But personally, I feel like he was just protecting his team, fighting for his team. But there are ways in which we can fight, and in order to fight and protect your team as a whole. But yeah, this is what's happening at the moment. These are the cases that we're currently following.
You know, as far as I'm concerned, in relation to Zola Majab, is doing a very good job. The previous prosecutor, we're not getting news. We're not getting updates unless I was living in another world, or maybe I was in that way. It's quite pleasing. I don't know whether you are aware. Before, were you getting this kind of updates? And then I must commend Zola Machavu for giving us updates. And you can see that when he said the matter will be delivered on such and such a date, it will be delivered. If it's not delivered, he'll give us the reasons and he'll give us another update. And I must also commend the young man there at PSL, Fatuan. He's doing a great job. I'm planning to interview him soon, profile him. I'm so excited about the work that he does. Looking at his age, he's so efficient as far as I'm concerned. Because information, will, quell the rumors, will quell the misinformation, which may be harmful to the league and the sponsors and the sport itself. So they give us information. Big up to Fatuan, he's doing a good job. Zola Majavu, they're doing a brilliant job by definitely ensuring that you keep on updating us, giving us the news. That's what we want. We want to know. And then ours is to take the news as they are and share with the public, ensure that the public are informed. And remember, sometimes I feel that, when you ask questions, especially to coaches, they feel like we are targeting them. And that's not the case. We are asking them questions that are prevailing out there, that are in the minds of the people, because we are on the ground, we hear what people are talking about. And then the reason why we ask those questions, we try to give them an opportunity to clarify if there's misunderstanding and misconception. Is it not a question that we just want to bash at them? So that's the understanding that people should understand. And platform like this, it's not about entertainment only, it's entertainment and education. That is why at some point we bring an advocate to explain, to give us the insight in terms of legally, from a legal point of view. It will help you as a person, as an individual in your own life to understand how the courts work. That's very, very important. So yeah, it's very pleasing. So last one, let's move on now. We know that this afternoon, Kaizer Chiefs, they are playing Skukune. That's the game that you wanted to attend, but unfortunately, we're not aware that it is the game for Skukune. So in future, hopefully the Skukune guys will hear us, and then we need to link up with them so that they can allow us to come and get the facts. Now, Kaizer Chiefs, they are playing Skukune. So what's your take about this game? And then I want to see whether I can get the lock. What's your take about this coming game, Kaizer Chiefs and Skukune?
Yes, coming through in this game, I think it's with Kaizer Chiefs coming in here, just trying to secure the second spot, qualify for the Champions League. But it's not going to be easy. It's not an easy fixture, but they are struggling as well. We haven't seen any signs of improvement as of yet. Well, on my side, this is me. Maybe it's because of the season is already being wrapped up. Probably we'll see them um, uh, doing good maybe from the next season, but it's just important for them just to do well, and it's a matter of protecting their identity and the team and the brand, the players as well. So they've got a lot to play for, protecting themselves. And I guess they all want a place also to be within the squad next season. So we'll just see how that unfolds today. But it's not going to be an easy fixture, Kokuni, as well. Very bossy team, they know how to play, and definitely they'll give a game to Kaizer Chiefs today.
Mm. Yeah, you know what? Kaizer Chiefs need all the points at all costs. Need all the points for one simple reason. They need to bring trust, to the supporters. We know that Chiefs supporters, they really support Kaizer Chiefs. Although it's a little bit concerning these days, we don't see them, especially here in Joburg, attending in numbers. We don't know what's happening, but we call upon the Chiefs fans to attend the game because it's good for them to attend the game. Now, so that is the game that we are looking at. And then we also see that now we have Cape Town City as number 2 in the log. And we need to do justice to Cape Town City. You know what? Eric Tinkler has done well. So we need to commend them. We need to talk about Cape Town City. Remember your team like Cape Town City, they don't have much resources. Okay, I know that they're being sponsored by Direct Access, but you cannot compare them with Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns. But for them to be at number 2, it shows that they're doing a good job. And we know that Royal AM, they're at number 3, but you cannot underestimate the role that has been played by Royal AM. I mean, this is the league that is coming from the second division, and they went all the way to number 2. So for me, those teams have done well. So what's your take, Tshepang?
Yes, Cape Town City, we can see that they're number 2 on the log so far. It's very interesting on how I think them and Royal AM are just fighting for that number 2 spots, and just to play in Africa next season. So those are the 2 teams that I'm actually looking at in clinching that second league spot, uh, in the league. So very much interested to see how the league will end and between those 2 teams.
Last born, oh, Jesus, man. Last born, can you hear me? All right, I think he got cut. I don't know what happened. Internet, as usual, is giving us a whole lot of problems. And then, I suppose maybe this load shedding will come to an end, and then we won't have this kind of problems that we do have. As I was saying, there are some people who are saying Benny McCarthy should either go to Kaizer Chiefs or Orlando Pirates. And Benny says he will definitely not going to resist if he's being approached by either Orlando Pirates or Kaizer Chiefs. And then he is quoted saying, no one can reject Kaizer Chiefs except Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, Ancelotti. And then he said those probably are few who can refuse to coach Kaizer Chiefs. Said any coach in the world will want to coach Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates. But while I'm still there, I'm of the opinion that Kaizer Chiefs should stick with Arthur Zwane. That's my point of view. I believe that Arthur will do well. I've been watching Arthur for some time now. He's brave. And then I listen to his utterances. He's confident. And then what else do you want? You want the person to be confident to say, look, I'm ready for the challenge. I'm sure Arthur is ready for the challenge. But there's nothing against Benny McCarthy coming to Kaizer Chiefs. Remember, Benny McCarthy has been a fan of Kaizer Chiefs since from childhood. And then at some point, he played for Orlando Pirates. But I would say let Arthur Zwane continue so that we have a pool of coaches. We don't rely on few coaches and keep on rotating few coaches. Yes, Benny can go to any team. And then I'm not sure whether at Pirates, yes, he can do well there. And then, but we still have Mandangigazi and Fadlu. Although they're caretaker coach, I don't know what is the thinking of Orlando Pirates, whether they planning to keep them to be permanent or they want to get a new coach. But if Pirates want to get a new coach, nothing stops them to go for a person like Benny McCarthy. So for me, I don't see anything wrong. They can go for Benny and ensure that Benny becomes, because Benny can do well at Orlando Pirates. Remember, he played for Pirates. The mere fact that he played for Pirates, he understands the culture there. And then, Benny has done well. And I'm sure the players, you know, they are looking up to a person like Benny, who has done well. I mean, Benny has won Champions League. Benny has won the Portuguese League. You know, Benny has been the top goal scorer in Spain, you know, won the Pichichi. So a very lucrative tournament, Pichichi. You know, something that has been won by Messi. And then not only Messi, I mean, Benzema will be winning it for the first time. So, yeah, so for me, Benny would be a very good coach for Orlando Pirates. Not to say he would be a bad coach for Kaizer Chiefs, but I'm saying let Arthur Zwane continue. But probably you have your own point of view. We also have the news that Nokovic may join Royal AM, but we understand that Mr. Munisi, who's the chief executive officer, is refuting that no, they're not interested in Nokovic. If you ask me, I would say to Real AM, why do you want to bring Nokovic? If you bring Nokovic, but he should play a second fiddle to Litualo, because Litualo, you know, is doing well, so you don't want to risk losing Litualo. Nokovic is injury prone, but you can bring him. Moreover, that he'll be a free agent soon, so there's nothing wrong in you know, Royal AM adding the squad with him. So of course I will add him and say come and then beef up the squad so that we see what is happening. Unfortunately, as you can see, that tonight, I mean, this afternoon, I'm struggling to share. So as a result, I won't be able to share the message special with you. But the other thing that I would like to see, we know that Chelsea and Liverpool, they are playing a very big one, which is the cup final. And then we don't know who's going to win between the two. But Liverpool are on fire. They are on fire. They're non-stoppable. You know, you've got the young man that I like most from Brazil. I don't know why do I forget this young man. He's doing well. And then not only him, you've got your Jota. Jota is doing well. You've got your Sadio Mane also doing well. Not only Sadio Mane, Salah is always a threat. And let me just remind you, Salah is at 22 goals, all right? And then I must say Shaolile is also at 22 goals. So this is a big thing for Shaolin. And this is a big thing for PSL. So Shaolin has done well. And then, yeah, so, and you have your Salah. And then last born, I've already covered a huge ground. I could see that internet was giving me a problem. And then now I'm discussing the final between Chelsea and Liverpool. So what's your take? I wanted to say Diaz.
Yeah.
Diaz.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
don't know
You
why I
can
forgot
see.
the name of this young man. Yes.
Yes. We can see it's the FA Cup final. Today. It's a very big one. For me, it's hard for me to predict this final today, but I know that it's going to be a very interesting game. You know, a lot will be put on the line from both teams. I feel like both teams need it. You know, especially Liverpool, with them chasing a treble this season. You know, so maybe they are the favorites, I could say, but we cannot also underestimate Chelsea. So yeah, it's a very big game which I can't wait to watch, and I can't predict this game, but I know that it's going to be a very, very, very interesting match.
It's going to be very interesting. And then who do you think will be the game winners? I see that, I don't know what happened to the young man, Mont. He seems to have lost the form. He has been doing well. And Havertz, but, you know, Chelsea cannot rule them out. Tuchel is there to motivate them all the time. I see Lukaku is banging goals a game, which is good for them. And then, who do you think are the real match winners? And then, while you're still there,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's hard for me to predict this game. I don't want to predict it. I don't even know what's going to happen, but I just want to watch an interesting football match, you know. But as I said, the favorites are Liverpool. But it's hard for me to predict. I don't know, but all I can say is the favorites are just Liverpool in this match.
now, while we are still there, according to you, who should be the Premier League footballer of the year? And while I'm still there, we saw Ronaldo celebrating that he won the second man of the match. In total, in his career, he has won 6 in the Premier League. So somebody was asking that we've never seen Messi celebrating on Twitter to say, "I've won the man of the match," you know. And what is fun, it's only 6. And then you go to Spain and check how many men of the match that Messi has won. You know, this group that I am a member of, which are the Messi supporters, I still want them to give me the men of the matches that Messi has won in France. This has been his poor season, but I just want to check how many men of the matches has he won, just to balance things. Yeah, so who do you think should be the footballer there? And then I'm saying this, remember Conte, we discussed this. Conte said Cristiano Ronaldo should be the player of the season. Who do you think should be the player of the season? If you ask me, but let me hear you first.
Yes, with that Cristiano Ronaldo matter, it's the Player of the Month award. So he won it for the second time this season, but it's 6 in total ever since he played in the Premier League. You know,
Did I, did I,
so
did I say man of the year?
yeah, yes, he said man of the match, but
Yeah,
it's a Player of the Month. Yes, yes.
oh, player of the month. Yes, player of the month.
Yes, the award is the Player of the Month. Yes. So with England, it's difficult. There's a lot of competition that side. So each and every month, there's a player that comes by and just does wonders. You know. So with the Premier League, it's very tough. It's very difficult. So for him to still actually still be on that level, especially this season, winning it twice. So that says a lot about him. You know, in the toughest league, I could say. But for me, player of the season, but he's not shortlisted. Cristiano Ronaldo is not shortlisted in the player of the season category. But I would go with Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is having an exceptional season. You know, He's also doing well. Behind him, I could put him behind Karim Benzema, to be honest.
No, no,
Maybe when it comes to
the Premier League. Premier League.
yes, it's the Premier League, yes. But I'm saying
Benzema
when
is
it comes to the yes, I'm saying when it comes to the Ballon d'Or, if we talk about the Ballon d'Or,
about the player of the year in Premier League.
yes, I know.
All right.
Yes, I know. I'm saying in terms of the caliber that he's in this season, I'm rating him second behind Benzema based on his form, what he's doing in the Premier League. So Kevin De Bruyne for me is doing exceptionally well in the Premier League. So I would want him to win the Premier League Player of the Season. I'm rooting for him. I don't see anyone else, you know. He has proved himself. He's a midfielder that scores so many goals, you know. He's currently on 17 goals and he has the most assists as well. So for a midfielder, that says a lot. So that proves that he has a trust and he's outshining everyone in the Premier League, you know, and even strikers as a whole. So yeah, I'm putting Kevin De Bruyne forward.
What about Mo Salah, who has scored 22 goals? He's leading.
Yeah, but we're talking about goals, just goals. But now let's look at the current form. With goals alone, yes, Salah, but the league is not over. Heung-min Song just equaled him in terms of goals. So we cannot say Son should win the Player of the Season as well, you know? So they are both equal on goals now. So we don't know who's going to take the Golden Boot in the Premier League. But for me, overall performance, Kevin De Bruyne.
There, I agree with you. Kevin De Bruyne should be a Player of the Season, the PL. Ronaldo, I wouldn't even put him anywhere, to be honest. He did well, but not Player of the Season. And Last Born, when you say Premier League is tougher for him to win Man of the Month, Messi has won so many Men of the Month in Spain, and Spain is also one of the toughest league. And to prove that, Spain has won a lot of Champions League. They're always there in the Champions League. So you cannot say the Spanish league is the weakest league and the easiest. And if you can count Man of the Month of Messi, that guy is a genius, man. It's a genius. You know, I keep on saying you can't compare Messi with anyone. You know, Messi is there by himself, you know. Yeah. So for me, Man of the Season in England, without no doubt, Kevin De Bruyne. He has done exceptionally well. Yeah, maybe Salah can come closer, but no. De Bruyne has done well, so he has to win. Well, unfortunately, Ronaldo, I don't know whether was he being let down by his teammates, you know, but he has done well. Ronaldo has done well, but not to be Player of the Season. So I don't agree with Conte there. That's my argument. Kevin De Bruyne should be the clear winner. All right, we'll discuss Ballon d'Or at some point. Well, when you go to Spain, I think there are a lot there. Benzema should be the Player of the Season in Spain. He should be the Player of the Season, not only the Player of the Season. I'm sure he's definitely going to win the Pichichi. I wish he also wins the Golden Boot. That would be very nice at his age. Last Born, before I close, what's your prediction about the young man who's playing for Barcelona? The future of Barcelona, number 10 now. What's his name again?
Ansu.
What's your take about Ansu? What's your take about Mbappe? Ansu, Mbappe, and who else who's a promising youngster? I see, but this one has just come in now, Diaz, but there is future there. There is future there. Ansu, Mbappe, I think they're going to be the players to watch in the next 10 years. Will be stinging those. I wish Ansu won't have the problem of injuries. And the other player that should never be forgotten is Pedri. Pedri is so good, man. He's absolutely good. And there's also Gavi there. And we hear that finally Ricky Puig has agreed that he will move on. I think that's the best thing for him, because look at how many coaches who came there and decided not to, just to overlook him. And when I watched Ricky Puig, initially when I watched him, I thought, yeah, no, he's a gem. But I saw his weaknesses. Ricky Puig is very energetic, but I don't think it's good for Barcelona. Ricky Puig must go to teams where he'll be played too much over and over. Then, yeah, we'll see his value. And then, and sometimes I think Ricky Puig sometimes can be one-dimensional if you watch his game. It can be one-dimensional. He's not creative like Pedri. Pedri is, is very creative. He reminds me of Iniesta, Pedri, and then I see the combination of Iniesta and Xavi there. Although he's still very young, he's still gonna grow. And then, yeah, so that's me. I don't know, Tshepang, what's your take?
Yes, I mean, seeing Ansu, we know that is the future, Ansu Fati is the future. I feel like he's still young. We shouldn't rush him, Um, he needs time.
Mm.
Personally, he needs time, even with the injuries, until everything is okay. I don't feel like he's 100% even now, but we definitely know that he's the future, and there's a lot that's going to come from him, and as well as in this football industry as well. Mbappe as well. I consider Mbappe. I always say Mbappe is a hot man. By me saying he's a hot man, he's old. Mbappe won the World Cup when he was 19. You know, I think he has won a lot when he was still young. The only thing that's missing is the Champions League. So, and at his age right now, so just imagine what he is still going to do in his whole career, in this whole football industry. So I foresee a lot of damage and I'm just a lot of records being broken by Mbappe, to be honest. That's one person who's way ahead of his peers. Footballers his age, they nowhere near his potential, to be honest. He's far ahead. So Mbappe already know what he can do, and we already know what's in front of him. So he has achieved a lot at a very young age. We just hope that he keeps on breaking more boundaries. That's the only thing that we expect from him, to just keep on breaking more and more boundaries. That's all I can say about Mbappe.
We should not overlook Vinicius Jr. The boy has improved quite dramatically. He's a future of Brazil. He's no more Vinicius Jr., who was still very young, very selfish. Vinicius Jr., as far as I'm concerned, if you compare him with Mbappe and Ansu, Vinicius is not only scoring, all right, contributing the goals, he's also assisting. That's where I see Vinicius very strong. Vinicius is going to be one of the best players if he gets the right coaching, but he's in the right hands of Ancelotti. He's in the right hands of Ancelotti. So I see a very good future for Vinicius Jr. So Last Born, thank you very much. We had a little bit teething issues there in terms of the internet. We were somehow muted at some point for a few minutes or so. But thank you very much. Thank you for your time. And then we also thank the viewers and the listeners out there for always commenting and then also liking and also subscribing. It is really appreciated. Your time is valuable. Last one, just bid the viewers farewell.
Yes, thank you very much to the viewers out there, and to you also, Mr. Shawalala. This show is it's really growing, and it's putting a lot of knowledge to a lot of people. Um, we know that we'll get there and what we want, and this is a platform where we just want to share as much information as possible and grow from here, and just to build up on this network. and it's a platform which you have laid for us and put in front of us, giving us the chance to showcase our talents, and we know that it will grow from here. And lastly, see all supporters tomorrow. Let's go fill up Orlando Stadium and just go behind our boys as well, as we did for Mamelodi Sundowns. Let's do the same for Orlando Pirates, as they are representing us, our country, our nation, and all the best. Thank you very much.
And I'll also call for Kaizer Chiefs supporters and Skupune supporters to go there. I'll say Kaizer Chiefs because Vina is very helpful all the time whenever we want assistance. Not to say others, they don't help us. We'll try and see, but they try. Tandy is also trying to help us at Pirates, but we want more support from all of them. But thank you, Vina, for the support that you give us. And then, guys, go and support the two teams. Thank you very much.